Hello my friends, how are you? This is Rachel from sweetbeepaperco, and I'm super excited today because I've got my little Christmas things out and we are going to do some altered Dollar Tree tickets. So if you watched my Dollar Tree junk journal video, I bought the yellow tickets and coffee stained them, stamped. Absolutely love them. So I wanted to make some to include in the junk journals. I'm getting ready to list on Etsy, or have already listed by the time this comes out. And so I bought the red tickets from Dollar Tree, and these are in your face red, but they are going to be perfect for Christmas tickets. Now you can also buy some white tickets. I did not see white tickets at Dollar Tree. I did see them at Five Below, or wherever you can kind of pick up some tickets. So this was my tester here, so you can see I did a lot of things to them, and I'm going to show you each step. We'll just get these made. So first thing, like I said, you're going to need these tickets from wherever you want to get these tickets from. So if you buy them from Dollar Tree, they'll come in like a strip package like this, folded over. And I found them on like the bottom shelf in the party supplies, not in the like craft aisle or whatever. They were in the party supplies at the bottom. So if you don't see them at first, keep looking for them. And so like I said, they had yellow, red, and I believe they have blue as well. So the one thing you're not going to see me doing right now is coffee spraying them. I've done a couple videos on my channel about coffee spraying paper. So I do have a new way I'm doing it. And so what I've been doing is taking a cup of warm water and mixing in the instant coffee first, and then pouring it into my spray bottle. That seems to keep the jamming of some of the coffee crystals in the spray part down. So I definitely recommend that. And so what I do is I lay these out on a foil sheet, and I spray them with the coffee in my little spray bottle. So you're not having to soak these. So they definitely dry a little faster, and you can let them air dry, or you can stick them in your stove at an absolutely super low temperature and make sure you're watching them. And that's optional though. You don't have to do that. You can let them air dry. I like to use the stove because I like to do these on my lunch break and just try to get a bunch of them done. And you can fit so many on like a foil sheet pan to do these, a full size sheet pan. So yeah, so that's what I did. So each strip has 5 sets of tickets on there, and we're going to get ready to get these started. But this is kind of what they are going to look like when they're done. So here's a couple other ones that I did to include in the journals, and I love them. So you don't have to make these Christmas, obviously, if you want to do these any other time of the year. But if you've got small Christmas stamps that fit on these tickets. So these tickets are about 2 inches high with both of them. So like the deer one, I didn't have it centered, so it kind of went off of it. And that's completely okay if they kind of go off. But just go through your stamps and kind of see what you've got. And so I have all of my smaller Christmas stamps in here. I already have some of them out that I know I want to use. And so that's what we'll be doing. I also used my dot stamp as well as some of these little frame stamps to kind of have the frames going off of the tickets. And I thought about too, you could also use like another one of your stamps kind of off the tickets. You could do that as well. I also used some gold acrylic paint that I mixed with water and kind of did a splatter on here, and I will show you how I did that. And some distress ink, and obviously some regular whatever flavor ink you like to use. I'm using the Ranger archival. I just refilled this with ink, so it's got nice and fresh stamps to it. And then I will show you a way to use these in your junk journal and to kind of include, I mean, I showed in that video where you could like kind of clip them to a page or clip them when you flip something up. But let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to do 2 of them, and we'll do 2 different stampings on them. So what I'm going to do is just take a scrap paper. So these have already been coffee stained. I'm not sure if I made that very clear, but they've already been coffee stained, so they're a little crunchy looking. So some of the stamping when you do it may not come out super clean because they're not super flat, but just make sure you're pushing down good. So I've just got a damp paper towel half that I'll be kind of cleaning my stamps off with. That way I try to keep the mess at a minimum. So let's get started. Put my ink pad out, and so let's do this one first. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stamp kind of in between the tickets on the perforated line where we kind of have most of the clear-ish space. I will show you right here, just kind of right in the middle there. And then actually I'm just going to take this stamp and do this here. So if you're going to make a bunch of these, I would definitely kind of keep them out and kind of just vary your stamps along the way. So let's do this holiday cheer one. I think this came in a what's it called? A bag of stamps from Viva Las Vegas Stamps. Oh, that is so cute. I might as well just use that one again. Okay. Rinsing that off. Now I want to go in with this little deer. And we'll do the deer on the end on this one. Yeah, and on the end on this one. So these are pretty much kind of the same. You know. For video, that's fine. Okay, so then let's do a small one. So I've got, I think this is like a little mistletoe one. I found this thrifting. So since I have a tiny space left, or I kind of wanted just something smaller in between them. Those are looking super cute. I just recently got this stamp on Etsy. It's like a little Santa postage stamp one. It's so cute. I used that on one of the other ones and it looks so good. Okay, so let's get this out of the way for now. Let's go ahead and take, so this part's obviously optional. If you want to do like the frame stamps kind of off the tickets, I think whoa, I can't talk. I think it looks kind of neat. So I'm just doing like the corners and the edges. So like if you have your tickets close to each other, you can kind of do them together, like kind of like this, so you can kind of maximize your ink usage, I guess. And I think that is good for now. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take this dot stamp. Like, I mean, this is optional too if you want to. I really like the dot stamp. I'm addicted to it. You know, I think that it kind of looks like little like fairy dusting or something on things. kind of grunges it up just a little bit. Okay, next I'm going to go ahead and ink up the edges. I'm using walnut stain. I just refilled this too, so it's nice and dark. You know, those blue tickets would probably be super cute for like spring stuff too. I really like the yellow ones for that, but I was trying to think of something for those. Did I say blue stamps? I meant blue tickets. Okay, so now that we've got all of our stamping done, and I did some distress ink around the edges, they're already looking really neat. So you could stop here, or why? I like to kind of cover my surface a little bit if I'm going to do paint splats. So what I'm going to use this time is a plastic bag. I'm not sure what happened to the box I was using, but let's get some paint mixed up for us. So like what I said earlier, I'm going to be using this Liquitex Basics acrylic in gold. I kind of like using this a little bit more. It just gives a little bit more like oomph or opacity compared to using watercolor splats. So I'm just going, it's probably a little too much. Going to add a little bit more back to my little, I think this was an icing container, and add some water. I've tried adding water just to the dried stuff that's already in there, and it doesn't completely get, you know, mixed up right. So now I'm just going to mix this up with a different brush. Now I'm going to take my plastic bag and just kind of open it up. I'm mainly doing this so I can show you what I'm going to be doing. So I'm just going to lay these tickets in here, and I'm going to do my splats on them. So the best way I've found to get a lot of the smaller splats, like right in here, the smaller dots, is to just tap it with my finger when the brush is full of paint. Okay, so I'll do it very lightly with the bag out of the way so you can see, but so I'm just kind of getting some on there. Make sure it's pretty runny. Not pretty runny. It's kind of, it's a little runny, okay, compared to what it was. And kind of take some of that paint off. I don't want a ton, because that's where I kind of got some of those big, huge things of gold paint on there. So just a little bit on there. And you can kind of change this up as you go as well if you want more paint, less paint. But now I'm just going to take it, and I'm going to take my pointer finger and just tap. Just like that. If you hold it really close to whatever you're trying to get the paint on, you'll get a really good spray. Actually, I'm just going to try to remember to zoom in on it so you can see it. You'll get a really good spray of smaller dots on it. So far, this has really worked well for me. So, like, the more paint you have on there, the bigger your splats are going to be. So now, don't do this at home, okay? Make sure you kind of have your bag up and over it. I wanted to show you what it looked like. But this way, oh gosh, I put too much on there. This way, if you have the bag up, like the back of my, or like in front of me with the acrylic containers, have so much gold paint splatted on them, and I've cleaned a lot of it off, but I kind of rushed, so I got some big splats on here. It's okay. Now, before your paint dries, if you get it on other things, go ahead and get it off before it dries. It's such a pain. It's such a pain to get off when it's dried. I'm sure you know that, but if you don't, just including your face. I felt it hit my face. What else is new? You guys should have seen my hands earlier today when I did all of those other tickets. I had so much ink on me, and then you can still kind of see it a little bit. Okay, so now you can either let these air dry. I am going to use my little heat gun thing to help them dry a little faster. And you could probably also use a hair dryer too. So I'm just going to do that real quick. Okay, so we have one last step to these, and I just think this just gives these tickets just that little extra oomph too. Is we're going to take the black ink pad, and you can use a dauber for this if you want, but I want just barely any ink on the edge of these. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of lightly brush it across this, and I might hold just at a little bit of an angle. Hopefully you can see that. So there's barely any black ink on there, but it just gives this really defined edge to them, and I think it looks really nice. So I'm just going to lightly do that. So if you wanted more ink on them too, without like getting too much, you could just kind of brush it a little, like turn your angle down a little more and brush on there. I just want just the tiniest bit. I just think it really looks nice. It almost looks like these were kind of like burned too. So there we go. Those are so pretty. I love how they turned out. I got a lot of gold paint on these, but I kind of love it, to be honest. Super pretty. So you can kind of see the difference in them too with how much coffee spray I got on them. So when you're dipping your papers into the coffee, you're getting that more of a like uniform look, and I like the variation. I think it looks more distressed. Okay, so let's talk about how you can use these, or just I guess just an example of how you can use these, which I think looks super cute. And the paint on those are still kind of drying. So I made these little folders. I guess they're folders. Listen to me, I can't think of words. And so these are from Tim Holtz. I don't think they're like a Christmas collection. These came out a little while back. And so I did some with the Christmas paper, and I love them so much. And so these three are going in those Christmas journals I'm making. Etsy link is down in my bio. Okay, since those are still a little wet, what I was planning on doing was kind of, I think I had folded it kind of like this over it, or you could do it with this one. It'd be upside down right now, but oh, maybe not if we do it this way. Okay, put the tickets like in here, and then I plan on putting maybe some paper or something else in there, and then having a paper clip with some fabric on top, maybe like this. I'm not sure, but when you open it, like, you could see the tickets there. And let's see, how could we do that? We could have it where, so you could make these even smaller too. So there, so like you could like open it like this and kind of flip the tickets out. I thought the tickets would be kind of cool in these little folders. So that's kind of an idea you could use them for as well. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you make these. I would love to see them. You can tag me on Instagram at sweetbeepaperco, on TikTok. All of my socials are linked down in the description box. Yeah, have fun. Get out all of your Christmas stamps. And I will see you in the next video. Love you. Bye.